Okay, girls, now we continue with the plant cytokinesis. Okay, now because of the cell wall, which is quite rigid, which is very rigid in fact, so the process of splitting the cytoplasm happens differently. You cannot have invagination or you cannot have this cleavage furrow because the cell wall is hard, right? It's rigid. So we have a different method of forming the cell wall. So you can see here, vesicles containing material will actually line up in the middle of the cell here. So they combine to form cell plates, okay, at the center of the cell. And then later on, the new cell wall substance will be formed, okay? So this part will be formed, the cell wall material will be formed here. So it joins together, and then the cell plate expands outwards, all right, going to the edges of the cell there expands outwards, and they combine with the plasma membrane. And then at the end of this cycle, right, at the end of this cytokinesis, you will have cellulose fibers produced by the cells to strengthen the new cell wall, right? So these are the cellulose fibers here, and then you will have your cell wall, the new cell wall being produced. So at the end, you will still have two identical daughter cells. Only thing is the method of splitting your cytoplasm is different. Okay, so you mentioned all these methods are the words, the terms. Okay, lastly, let's look at what is the significance of mitosis, the necessity, why is it important, okay? Or we look at significance, it has the same meaning. Why is mitosis important? What is the use of it? Okay, firstly, it is for growth, all right? So basically, it is the method where an organism grows from a smaller size to a bigger size because mitosis leads to an increase in the number of cells and therefore the size of the organism increases. It also ensures the growth and the development of an organism, okay? From a baby, it grows into a mature adult. Okay, the second one is for regeneration. This is the method whereby a cell or an organism manages to regrow certain parts of the body. Like the lizard's tail is able to be regrown once it detaches itself. And you have starfish able to form back an arm, okay? And earthworm are able to form parts of the body, okay, that is broken off or cut off. Salamander and newt, this is it can regrow the limbs, okay, the limbs. But for the lizard, it's only for the tail, unfortunately. All right. Okay, next one. Okay, when our human body, when our cells are injured, we will have skin cells and liver cells able to reproduce new cells in order to replace the cells that are dead or they are damaged. Okay, and lastly, mitosis forms the basis whereby simpler organisms, especially those with unicellular organisms like bacteria and so on, divides, or we call it replicates, or we call it reproduction. So this is a basis for asexual reproduction, and some examples of which are binary fission, which is for amoeba, paramecium bacteria, and also for budding. Budding, this is for hydra. Okay, so this is hydra, all right, and also yeast. You've learned that before in your form 1, I think. All right, so this is the importance of having you need to have this mitosis. All right, okay.